morning. It is the Drake Toll Show. 6 a.m. Eastern Time and 47 seconds. And you and I on a Monday, February 16th, 2 days removed from the day of love, Valentine's Day. We have gathered right now at your kitchen table, at your favorite gym. We have gathered in your car, in your vehicle, your bus, as you drive those children to school. Where would they be? Where would the kids be if you didn't drive them to school? Sitting at home, not learning. You're playing hero today. And you and I get to play hero together. What am I a hero of? Life, love, the pursuit of happiness. This show, it's like Tiger in '05. It's like the Miracle on Ice. It's like your first kiss. You know, like that's what I'm here for. Not to kiss you. That'd be a little weird. But to remind you what you love about life and sports. And this weekend was a reminder that even when football's gone, even when the NBA All-Star break is one of the worst things possibly conceivable, we can still enjoy the beauty that is Colin Morikawa winning a golf tournament, or Scotty Scheffler on a Sunday, the Daytona 500, spatterings of college basketball, the Olympics, all of it. That's today on the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Stu Kovacs produces. Yes, I was gone. A 4-day hiatus last week of the Drake Toll Show. Credit to Nick for stepping in. Because Bananaland at Sea was at hand. The Savannah Bananas annual, it's become annual now, cruise this year from Tampa to Cozumel. And the plan was, go on the cruise, shake my rump, entertain the people, do what we do with the bananas, you know how it goes, and then get off of the cruise ship on Friday, 8:30 in the morning, rest up a tad, and then go to work this morning for you. Problem is, 8:30, bing, boom. This is your captain of the cruise ship speaking. There is some fog in the area. We'll have to delay our disembarkation by an hour. Thank you. Great, extra hour of sleep, 8:30 to 9:30. Now I can rest up a little bit until boo-doo. This is your captain speaking. It's 9:40 in the morning. We have not moved. Need you out of your cabins by 10 a.m. Fog is still in the area, and we'll see how long it takes. The next alert that we got, Stu, you ever been on a cruise ship?
I have never been on a cruise in my life. No, I would like to go on one, but I have not been on one. No.
I would say it's playing with fire, but it's really playing with water. If you know what I'm picking up what I'm putting down. Big Kurt, what you got on cruise ships, my man?
I've been on one cruise my whole life, and that was like 12 years ago now. So I mean, I remember it, but recently.
Have you watched the Poop Cruise documentary, Netflix?
No.
Oh, Stu, you're a no-go on the Poop Cruise?
I have seen that. Yes. Yeah. It's not a pretty
All about
sight.
the poo-poo?
Yeah, man. So they get stuck on this cruise ship for an extra 4 or 5 days. The bathrooms all overflow, and it's gross and terrible. There's no air conditioning in the power outlets. Yeah, not good in the slightest. So I'm having Poop Cruise flashbacks come 10 o'clock on Friday, and we have not left the cruise ship. We would not leave the cruise ship until 12:45 that night. And we had to leave our rooms at 10 a.m. So from 10, we spent 14 hours, over 14 hours, no cabins, just with your luggage somewhere on the cruise. Luckily, the staff of the Bananas, our 6 teams, our cast, we put on a show. We had a fantastic day of entertaining the fans who had brought their luggage up to the decks and just wanted to be entertained. They wanted to get I met a woman who had VIP tickets to the Rascal Flatts concert that night in Tampa. She couldn't go. Felt bad. Also, wild. VIP tickets to the Rascal Flatts concert. Insane. And 14 hours extra on a cruise, more than that, will change a man. It will make you a different person. It will teach you things in this life. And I learned on Friday to be grateful. I learned on Friday that we can't take things for granted in this world, because any second now they could be hampered or destroyed by an extra 14 hours on a cruise that break your spirit. But I also learned, in the midst of all of the nothingness, staring deep into the void, understanding that this cruise ship may be sitting still, but metaphorically it is driving straight toward the sun. In the midst of it all, I thanked God. No longer questioning his or her existence as this higher power. No longer assuming it is this faceless, nameless piece of non-material in the void. No, I thank God that I wasn't subject to watching NBA All-Star Weekend. That on Friday, at least being stuck on the cruise ship meant I didn't have to watch NBA All-Star Weekend. Because all they had on the TV was Sport 24, carrying cricket or random golf tournaments you've never seen, not related to LIV or PGA. Sport 24, your sports on the cruise. And it would just be Adelaide versus Perth in cricket. Like, all right, sweet. I'll sit down and I'll learn a thing or two. But when I came back, when I got back, and Saturday and Sunday saw what Adam Silver and the National Basketball Association had to offer, I was sick. Sick. What happened to the game that I love? This is the Drake Toll Show. I'm Drake Toll. You can reach me on my private cell phone number. My not even my company one, my private one, 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. Watching this All-Star Game experience reminded me of what it could have been. Yeah, I should have gotten on the air today and told you, big win for the West this weekend in an electric comeback, 134-132, capturing the NBA All-Star Weekend. It's the East and the West at a game for the ages. Let's get into it. Stephen Curry, LeBron James. But no, instead it's this all new thing with this like mini round robin tournament of the world versus the stripes versus the stars in a 95% empty arena. It's like it's a rule at this point. Like the Rising Stars game, no one's there. I turn on the NBA All-Star game. It's like, no, you're the $2 billion Intuit Dome. Steve Ballmer's Palace. Remember that one time that we think we caught Steve Ballmer with a fake tree agency giving Kawhi Leonard more money and just nothing happened? All right, well, move on from that. Come on, guys. Nothing to see here.
Man sweats a lot.
He sweats a ton, and he builds really nice stadiums, arenas that people don't go to. Ticket prices still, somehow, entry-level seats started at $1,000. Lower bowl seats, $3,000. No one's going to do that. No one wants to do that. Also, 2 o'clock Pacific time start time. That's gross, man. They're trying to avoid the Winter Olympics. But Curtis, guess what, Curtis? You want to guess? You don't have to guess. It's fine.
What am I guessing?
Did you know that when you watch primetime Olympics on NBC at the end of the night at 7 p.m., those are just replays of everything?
I did notice that the last time that we cared about the Olympics, which was obviously 4 years ago. But yeah, it's like recorded earlier in the day, and we're just watching it on delay.
Right. Stu, we live in a society where the NBA is moving its entire All-Star game, all of its All-Star events, in lieu of a replay of the Olympics.
In 2026, when you can literally go on Peacock and watch the event you want to see at any time, live or taped.
I woke up at 8, 9 a.m. to watch curling live. Why would I have to watch it again in the evening? Just because Mike Tirico's there? No. Also, they get to this final game of the round robin 12. But if you didn't watch this, which you probably did, if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, does it really make a sound? No. If the NBA All-Star game happens, there's no one around to watch it. Was it really an NBA All-Star game? No. The final score was like 45-21 between the Stripes and the Stars and the championship game. What do you mean championship game? Yeah. It was a 26-point blowout where the USA Stars beat the USA Stripes. And it just left the whole thing on a low-energy, boring note. Here is what Draymond Green had to say about the All-Star game then versus now.
I remember Kobe getting his nose broken.
He did.
Remember that? In the All-Star
Dwayne
game.
Wade.
Right? Like, got his nose broken. Those guys were really, truly competing. When you look at it back then, though, it wasn't the same as it is. And until we accept that and just stop saying, but look at those guys and what they did. You know, they played hard. But when saying, you knew better, you do better. So if I know better about my body, then I'm going to do better about my body. Yeah. And so I think until that starts to be prioritized, I don't think you're going to have a good game. I just don't see it. And the gimmicks, by the way, the gimmicks of the All-Star game, to your point, East-West, mano a mano, best in the East, best in the – it works when the game is good, right? We doing all these different gimmicks. I think that makes it actually more of a joke.
Yeah. I mean, for once in my life, I agree with Draymond Green. Joke is the right word. We're adding too many gimmicks to this. Round robin mini tournament. Hey, guess who won the NBA dunk contest? You wouldn't know. You don't know. You've actually never heard of this person in your life. If I found you on the street and I said, hey, who is Darren Carter III? Would you say, oh, he's the 2026 NBA dunk contest champion? You wouldn't say that. And after I gave you that news, you'd say, oh, good for Darren. Only to find out the real winner's name is Keyshawn Johnson and Darren Carter III doesn't exist. That's what you would learn. Keyshawn Johnson, you know, the guy from Miami who averages 3 points per game? Not Zion, not Ja Morant, not a name you've heard of. I was reading a stat. It's like four of the last four NBA dunk contest winners have played a cumulative 47 NBA games. Ooh. Oh. Thanks, Mac McClung. Here is, for the first time, you're hearing this for the first time in your life, Keyshawn Johnson, who won the NBA dunk contest being so humble.
First of all, 5 days notice. 5 days notice, maybe even 4, you know, because the position I'm in, they sent me down to the G League. But right before they sent me down to the G League, they told me that I got the invite that night before. So, you know, I got a little banged up in the G League game. I had 2 back-to-backs in the G League, and then I only had really 2 days to practice out here. But all glory go to God. He made sure I was ready out here.
Your NBA dunk contest champion, everyone, Keyshawn Johnson, who had a couple of days to practice and only tried dunking for the first time yesterday. And just did a windmill.
Just the G League 3 days ago.
Yep. Once again, G Leaguer wins the dunk contest. A guy you've never heard of wins the dunk contest. This reminds me, I have like 2 or 3 minutes to tell this story. Let me take you back to the 1904 Summer Olympics. They were no flop. They were catastrophic. 1904 befell us the Marathon from Hell. Men's marathon. Single stupidest event in sports history that is just in 1904. Not the normal one. Now, today, it's fine. Dusty, unpaved roads of St. Louis. There was a lead car that kicked up so much dust that William Garcia, one of the runners, who was in first place for so long behind the lead car, almost died after the dust tore his stomach apart and severed his esophagus. Oops. Thomas Hicks took strychnine, which is rat poison, and brandy throughout the race, hallucinating several times and crossing the finish line looking like a zombie. He lost 8 pounds during the run. Fred Lors quit 9 miles in, hopped in a car, waved at fans. When the car broke down, he jogged the last few miles to the finish. He was given gold, until later exposed as a fraud. And the Cuban, Anderin Carvajal, showed up in long pants, had not eaten in 40 hours, stopped at an orchard to eat some apples. They were poisonous. Got a stomach cramp, took a nap, woke up, finished 4th. Most participants had no idea what the sports were. And because it was during the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, and in St. Louis, almost exclusively Americans competed, including 11 of the 12 gymnasts. Oh, and remember Thomas Hicks, who I told you was the first doper in Olympic history? Yeah, he drank rat poison and brandy to help him over the course of the trip to coat his stomach, provide protein while he ran. And then the people who watched the race called him deathly gray or ashen because he, drank rat poison and brandy. He won. He won the whole thing. That's how bad the 1904 Olympics were. Welcome to 2026, baby. Have we learned nothing? The NBA All-Star Weekend. Disaster class in trying to put on a product for people to watch. This goes further. This goes deeper. It goes to the NBA's top dog, the top banana, number one, baby, Adam Silver, who every time he comes to a podium, every time he is talking to the nation, just doesn't go well. Here's what he had to say about the NBA's tanking problem, and we'll talk about his impact on the All-Star game, where the NBA is going, and the play-in cup, or whatever that one is. But before we get there, baby, that's when we come back. It's the Drake Toll Show, 310-840-4910. Drake Toll with Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. When we come back, what do we do with Adam Silver, and is he on the hot seat? This is the Drake Toll Show.
Could Kyler Murray be next year's Sam Darnold? In a
trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. I've been in trouble, no pleasure here on earth I find. For in this world I'm bound to ramble, I had no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help me now. Expect to see you again, for I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps you'll die upon this train. I've seen trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born.
Touch yourself. Touch yourself. Touch yourself. Let's go. It's the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Every day of the week, except for the weekend. That's when I do my partying. But lest ye be worried, every Monday I find myself right back here in my electric shed. Electricity on, lights set up. A little TV in the back to play the ESPN and whatnot. Oh, abrupt. And here we are. You and me, mostly me. But a lot of you too at 310-840-4910. Call line, text line's open, 310-840-4910. The question of the day, what would you do to fix the All-Star game? Is if there is a way to fix it. Adam Silver's incompetence. So I'm not strictly anti-Adam Silver. I haven't woken up every day the last 6 years and thought, God, I hate that NBA. Even though we are seeing college basketball, college football, boat race, the National Basketball Association, and it doesn't feel right anymore. Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, remember that dunk contest? Those two guys weren't stars. It was fun to watch, though, right? When's the last time we had stars in the dunk contest? When's the last time the All-Star game felt like it meant something, like Kobe breaking his nose? That's cool, man. When's the last time a leader in the National Basketball Association, from a player standpoint, says, we're going to try? Wemby kind of did, but it didn't resonate. That's only a piece of the issue you're seeing from the NBA. And you know what? My dad, Philip Toll, father of Drake Toll, from the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. He's listening, or will listen later. And for him, he's thinking, I've never watched the NBA. I'll never watch the NBA. You can't give me all the money in the world to care. And that might be you. If it is you, well, then you ought to agree with a whole lot of these talking points. There's got to be a reason that you like sports. You're listening to a sports show, but that you don't like the NBA. Maybe in the entertaining sphere from this weekend, you watched the Daytona 500, where Tyler Reddick did not lead until the 500th lap. 500? Wow. We'll get Stu Kovacs on that one ASAP. Didn't lead to the final lap and won the whole thing. Or the USA in hockey knocking off Germany 5-1. America beats Germany again. Or number 1 Texas Tech going down in softball to number 8 Nebraska 3-2. There were a lot of fun things to watch. Or you could have watched the NBA All-Star Game, where in dramatic fashion, Team Stripes beat Team Stars during the round-robin portion. Or Team Stars beat Team World 37-35 in overtime in these 12-minute mini-games. What does that mean? I was always told if you confuse, you lose. And the NBA is confusing. Scotty Scheffler's not confusing. I can understand him having a great Sunday. And Colin Morikawa still coming away with the win at Pebble Beach, winning $3.6 million. I can understand a massive upset where Georgia beats number 5 Vanderbilt at home in women's basketball 76-74. That wasn't supposed to happen. What I can't understand is, hey, did you see Team Stars knock off Team World? That doesn't register in my brain. I told you I was on a cruise and that, albeit very fun, it did not go well. From a logistics standpoint, from a fog standpoint is what it was. So the captain of this ship last week, Again, we're supposed to be disembarking at 8:30 a.m. on Friday, and we made the best of this as the Savannah Bananas organization, myself doing play-by-play, wearing a big fur coat, having this big persona. We made the best of this delay by entertaining fans and keeping spirits high. But Friday, 8:30 a.m., as we're about to disembark, captain comes on, tells us, yes, very sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to delay the process by an hour. There's fog. By noon, he actually explains to us, now that we're 4 hours late when we're supposed to get off the ship, he actually explains to us why we were not leaving the boat. Bing bong. Ladies and gentlemen, we still do not know exactly when we will be at port in Tampa Bay. Here's what we do know, is that there are 7 zones of the channel. By the way, Drake Toll, am learning all of these things for the first time. He says there are 7 zones of the channel. We must get through each of the 7 zones after we're given clearance for each zone. The first zone, second zone, and third zones are clear. The fourth zone is dealing with fog. Zones 5 through 7 also clear. 6 of the 7 zones of the channel in Tampa are ready to go. The middle zone, due to fog, cannot be navigated. Brother, boss man, 1941, German U-boats. 100 years ago, they were dropping submarines into the deep abyss of the ocean. They couldn't see. They're a mile below the water. But our pansy cruise process, but I'm blaming no individual cruise line because this comes down from the United States government. This comes down from someone bigger than me. But in the year 2026, we cannot navigate a foggy channel. A mile underwater in the 40s. We're good. Radar's got us. But today, with Watson and AI and all that we have, there is too much fog to park the ship. Captain says to us, he says, we could get the clearance to navigate the channel. And once we navigate the channel, it'll be a 3-hour drive from the entrance of the channel to the port. So great. For me, it's noon. We could be at port at 3. He says we could begin this process in a matter of 5 minutes or 5 hours. Oh, no. Only to find out a couple hours later, hey, folks, we do believe our official time that we can leave the channel will be 6 p.m. Eastern time. But we must still wait for them to give the pilot clearance. The pilot? What's the pilot? I'm hearing from the captain of the cruise ship right now, only to find out the pilot's not on the boat. There's not a pilot on board. So I learned. Did you know this? Are you well versed in the nautical? I learned that they have to take the pilot who lives in America on the land and send him via speedboat to the edge of the channel, the end of the channel where we are sitting, anchored, docked in the middle of nowhere. Put him on the boat, and he drives the ship from the edge of the channel to. So the captain, can someone tell me, what exactly does the captain do? If he's not navigating any of the channels, the pilot's doing that. What is the captain doing other than getting on the intercom, being very hard to understand, and telling me that we're further delayed? I don't get off the ship until after midnight. So if the question is, what does the captain do? Is it really the pilot that has the serious job? What does the captain do? Are we in good hands? Is this boat going in the right direction? How can we not drive the boat to the finish line with the captain? My question to you is, Adam Silver, what do you do? Who is the pilot of this ship? Who's trying to navigate this channel? Adam Silver, the finish line and the beginning. That's what the pilot does. He starts your journey the first 3 hours through the channel and says, au revoir. And he gets you back home. In that middle section, you're just riding the waves of the open ocean. Adam Silver, who's getting us home? Who's lifting off out of the port in the National Basketball Association right now? I'm not thinking about Adam Silver doing his job on August 18th. Oh, wow, what's Adam Silver doing today? I don't care when you're in the middle of the Gulf or the Atlantic or the Pacific. What I care about is what really matters. Getting us to the finish line. And what does that look like? The biggest moments, what I would consider to be the finish line of the NBA, they've been nothing but muddied, like the All-Star game. Muddied, like the play-in tournament that the Knicks won. It's almost a bigger joke. The Knicks won it. Right? That was the storyline. Not that there was a tournament, but the Knicks can hang a quasi-banner now, right? I want to know why every idea this guy has continues to kind of blow up. And I wasn't an Adam Silver hater, but now I'm starting to see more and more and more that makes me think, wow, Adam Silver, why do you do the things that you do? He spoke a lot this last week during press conferences at the All-Star break. And one of the prevalent topics was tanking, like the Pacers or the Jazz. The Jazz were fined $500,000. Their owner, Ryan Smith, is not happy. Here's what Adam Silver had to say about tanking.
When any economist comes and looks at our system, they always point out you have the incentives backwards there. That doesn't necessarily make sense. I think there was a more classical view of that in the old days where it was just sort of an understanding among partners about in terms of behavior. I think what we're seeing is modern analytics where it's so clear that the incentives are misaligned. I think when you, maybe to further answer your question, are we seeing behavior that is worse this year than we've seen in recent memory? Yes, is my view. It's not what the fans want at the end of the day, although my caveat is, and this is where teams are in a difficult place, many of you in this room have written, and understandably about our teams, that the worst place to be, for example, is to be a middle-of-the-road team, either be great or be bad, because then that will help you with the draft. And so in many cases, you have fans of those teams, maybe it's not what they want to pay for to see poor performance on the floor, but they're actually rooting for their teams in some cases to be bad, to improve their draft chances.
Yeah, man. It's kind of the way this thing goes. We root for our teams to lose sometimes to give us better draft picks. The more you tell me I cannot do something, the more you tell me what I'm doing is bad, the more you tell me that, oh, this is a mockery of the game. Like, at some extreme level, Adam, if I may call you Adam, a major piece of this is the lack of effort from the individuals. When Kobe graced the NBA, when Shaq was playing, when Jordan was here, the early days of LeBron, felt like everybody cared. Why? Because the players at the top level cared. Today, your best player, Nikola Jokic, your best player. Jokic comes to the podium and says, I don't like the NBA. I actually don't like basketball. Kobe was saying he was going to slit his opponent's throat. And your crown jewel from Eastern Europe wants to go play with his horses. That's the problem's not tanking. The problem's not the All-Star game. It's not a need for an end-season tournament. The problem is, by and large, the players at the top just don't care. They don't care like they did. Yeah, man, James Harden, killer mentality. No. Yeah, man, Kawhi Leonard, killer mentality, spokesperson for the league. No, not real, no. Maybe that killer mentality part, but you get him in front of a microphone and you're like, yeah, where's the star? Victor Wembanyama. Killer mentality? Yeah, maybe. But face of the NBA? I don't know. They're struggling to market that. It's like every move they're making is just turning more and more people away. And now they're cracking down on tanking by finding people way more money than we're used to. And saying maybe we'll eliminate the lottery. Take away the rookie draft altogether. Huh. Sure. He would seriously consider removing the NBA draft and turning rookies into free agents via Joe Vardone of the Athletic. Wow. When we return, biggest losers. One of them has to do with getting nasty at the Olympics. Yeah. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com when we return. Biggest losers of the day. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app, and this is the Drake Toll Show.
Will the Seahawks franchise tag Kenneth Walker or could
reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down. The fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. Yeah! No trophy, no flowers, no flashbulbs, no wine. He's haunted by something he cannot define. Bowel-shaking earthquakes of doubt and remorse assail him, impale him with monster truck force. In his mind, he's still driving, still making the grade. She's hoping in time that her memories will fade. Cause he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's striving and driving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. Cause he's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's
Know your neighbor. Leave the keys in your truck. Do yourself a favor. Try your luck. Take a step back. Take a step back. Take a step back. Take a step back. Everybody stop where you're at. Take a step back. Take a step back to the way it was when people were crazy.
It's the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Jerome Tang was fired. Head coach, Kansas State men's basketball. And he is the beginning of our biggest losers of the day. Oh! Whoa. So, an insane piece of this is that Jerome Tang has been fired for cause. And that cause is because we hate him. He didn't really do anything except for lose. But there's this, stipulation in his contract that says if you cause the university public embarrassment, we can fire you for cause. So Kansas State thinks that it will get off the hook of his $18 million buyout, to which Jerome Tang immediately responded and said, "That's not how it works. Give me my money." It's a Vine, if you remember the Vine app. Tang, this allegedly is the rant that led to his fire for cause. Here is what he had to say.
This was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. It is just ridiculous. We got practice at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And we will get this thing right. I have no answer, no words. So y'all got two questions. So whoever want to ask two questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability right now. But right now, I'm pissed, and this is all right. Questions.
I love that in the wake of, I'm just picturing Kansas State leadership listening to this press conference and speaking to each other, and in my brain these are their voices. Whoa, did you hear that? What? He just said, hey, he's embarrassed for our university. And then they go back into the annals of Kansas State basketball contracts and see, aha! If you publicly embarrass Kansas State, we can fire you for cause.
Gotcha.
Hey, so he said he's embarrassed? That means we can fire him for cause because he's embarrassed us. Stu, I don't know how much time you spent in a court of law, but I don't think
Not
that's
too
going.
much.
Even with your lack of experience, your limited experience, I don't think you can just fire a guy like this and not pay him $18 million.
No, I don't think that's how that works. No, I would agree with that.
But he said he was embarrassed. I don't think that's a viable defense here of yourself when you're the one prosecuting Jerome Tang for getting fired for cause. RIP, just killed the club. This is now one of the worst takes of all time. Ryan Gilbert, Power Cat Podcast, friend of mine. Love you, miss you. Here's what he had to say 2 years ago about the now deposed Jerome Tang.
I don't want to, throw dirt on Bill Self, but right now in the current landscape of college basketball, there's an argument to be made that you'd feel more comfortable with Jerome Tang in the future of your program compared to Bill Self, who's struggling right now, but is having to do things a different way. Is there a correlation there? That's an argument to be made for a different day.
Yep. Not great. I don't know if there was ever a time I would have taken Jerome Tang above Bill Self, but we tried. An effort was made to justify it. That didn't work out for Ryan Gilbert of the Power Cat podcast. Tang told the Field of 68 he's deeply disappointed with the university's decision. He has acted with integrity, faithfully fulfilled his responsibilities. He thanked Jesus Christ. One of the great honors of his life is to coach there, grateful to players, staff, proud of what they built, confident that he has always acted in the best interest of the university and our student athletes. Kansas State came to their game this weekend, and on the back of their jerseys, there were no names. Tang wanted to send a serious old-school message. K-State is noted to have one of the top NIL budgets in the country. And it didn't. 3 NBA guys in their roster. It didn't pan out this year for K-State. They sit at 10-15 overall, and after just a couple of years removed from an Elite 8 run in year number 1 with Naquan Tomlin, maybe? Tang is out as the head coach at KSU. He's our first biggest loser of the day. Second biggest loser would be childbearing. At least that shouldn't be the case. We should be okay amongst the Olympians. The Winter Olympics, per Global Updates, after they spoke with someone who was on site, an athlete on site, facing a condom shortage, the athletes used 10,000 of them in just 3 days. That's a lot. The Sydney Olympics, 70,000. Athens, 100,000. Apparently this is a thing. They do this for free at the Olympics as not to have little Olympic children running around. And it took 3 days to go through 10,000 of them. Like the Latvians and the Jamaican bobsled team getting it on. But they're being safe. They're being safe doing it. I guess the winner would be Olympians here. And the losers would be latex.
They need me to take, a shot from the front, the back, whatever it is.
Recycling? I'm not sure. You can't recycle that, don't put that. I'm not the recycle guy washing those, getting those clean and ready to go to be disintegrated and turned into new latex things. Imagine. Oh no! Remember when you were a kid and they made the playground turf and stuff out of like old rubber tires they ground down? Oh, kids, you'll have no idea what the new age rubber's made out of. You'd be shocked to know what lines this playground. But they're Olympians. This is a good one. The Joe Shane scouting debacle. Been told now this is from Pat Leonard on Twitter, who's a Giants beat reporter. Was told last week Joe Shane is basically relegated to handling scouting. Remember when my friend John Harbaugh, good and personal friend John Harbaugh, was named Giants head coach? And the reason the contract was slightly delayed is he demanded to never have to speak to Joe Shane ever again. And they granted it. He said, yeah, I don't report to the GM. And when they asked Harbaugh about it in press conferences, he was like, yeah, man, next question, whatever. And when they asked Joe Shane about it, Shane said, yeah, everybody's really blowing this one out of the water. It's kind of a non-issue. I'm the GM, remember? Come on, guys. Remember, you know me, Joe Shane. Remember from Hard Knocks? That's me. But per this report, Pat Leonard, basically relegated to handling scouting. The rest of the building reports to Don. Don being the VP. Don reports to John. And it's going exactly as we told you it would when Harbaugh got hired. Ooh! Take that. BYU basketball. Biggest loser. Biggest loser today. Not good. I'm not sure there's been a team ever with more season-ending injuries that had bigger expectations. BYU preseason had a top 5 caliber roster. NBA talent across the board. And those guys are now gone. AJ DeBonsa's still healthy, but you can't. They got him and Rob Wright. You can't win with just 2 guys. Cannot win with just 2 guys. Kibakeda could step up, but that's about it. 6 of 17 of the rostered players are out for the season. Richie Saunders, 18 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game. He is out with a torn ACL. Dawson Baker, same thing. 6th man, 8 points per game, 38% three-point shooter. Would have been a pivotal three-point guy off the bench. Gone. Backup point guard Nate Pickens, gone. KJ Perry, the number 1 JUCO transfer in the country, gone. Brody Kozlowski, not to be confused with Brad. Xavion Staten, both 4-star guys. Big size that BYU could have used, gone. Final 4 roster, man. Final 4 caliber team. And they have lost 6 players to season-ending injuries. They could drop out of the top 20. They struggled with Colorado. Took overtime to beat Colorado on the same weekend that we honored Jimmer Fredette. BYU will next play a basketball game on Wednesday at Arizona. Number 1 Arizona, who lost twice. Another biggest loser, lost twice last week. Losing to Texas Tech. Losing to Texas Tech at home on Saturday. On the Big 12 basketball news, number 3 Houston travels to number 5 Iowa State tonight in some must-see TV. That'll be a good one. Hey, Stu Kovacs produces today. Those are your biggest losers. Stu's not one of them. Curtis Poindexter runs the board in Curtis City, California.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now what, huh? When we return, obituaries, including Chris Paul's career. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. Goodbye, CP3. That's all when we come back on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This has been, and it always will be, and it continues, the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
on Whiskey River leaves a young man feeling old. That old love you still remember, that you deep down in your soul. Lost that girl down in Orleans.
Here we go.
Chasing some old voodoo dream.
It is the Drake Toll Show. 7 o'clock. Drake Toll with you. Come on, Marcus. Something about it, man. Feels right on a Monday. Marcus King. That was for Addie Bates, who's hanging out in New Orleans at Mardi Gras.
Addie's gone? What?
What is it called when you... Is it abstinence when you don't drink? Stu, you're the producer. You're supposed to know things. Is that abstinence?
That sounds right. I think abstinence is usually for something else, but I think it could be used for not drinking as well.
Oh, no. Well, they're not doing that at the Olympics now, are they?
No.
What is it called when you don't drink? It's not just, like, sobriety is one of the words, but there's another word for it, right? What? Am I alone in the world with this?
No, I wasn't raised to be a quitter. I don't know what those words mean.
Oh my gosh. I think there's a word for it.
Merriam-Webster says abstainer, so I think you're kind of on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, you could be abstinent from things. Like I am abstinent from, you could be that for alcohol. I don't think that's what Addie Bates is practicing from a sobriety standpoint this week. She's actively excited and partaking in the Mardi Gras stuff. Stop. So that's some Marcus King for your Monday to get you in that that New Orleans vibe. You ever, Stu? Again, you're the producer. You're supposed to know things. When that viral video about a year ago started taking off on social media of the ladies singing a cover of "When the Lights Went Out in Georgia," that's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. Yes,
I remember that. Yep.
Kind of like a smooth, low, funky beat. And everybody's listening. It was good. Curtis, remember that video?
Yeah, I totally remember it.
Okay, great. That was Briley. I'll send you the audio. That was Briley King, who sang that song, and wife of Marcus King, who does a lot of not bluegrass, like bluesy, jazzy stuff. And I went probably a year and a half ago to what they called an intimate evening with Marcus King. I was like, whoa, yeah.
No abstinence there.
Yeah, no abstinence on my intimate evening with Marcus King. So I brought my dad, my girlfriend, and my uncle for us all to have an intimate evening. It was really cool. It's like concert venue with 1,000 chairs set up. Curtis, I also just emailed you the audio of that viral clip so you can culture yourself or play it on the show. And we went and saw it was like 1,000 people, seats set up. You watch Marcus King just sit there, play guitar, and then that white boy can sing, man. That gringo's got it. He's one of those guys. Big Marcus King fan in our household. Big John Tesh fan, too. Can we confirm or deny? You know John Tesh, the radio guy. Remember, Stu, when you turn the radio on, I'm John Tesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the same John Tesh that does Round Ball Rock?
I actually have never put two and two
Stu,
together. I don't know.
What the hell, man?
I don't know this. I don't know.
I was told you know things. I was told you know like everything. We're like 0 for today on the. I'm not sure. There can only be so many John Teshes, but he was the basketball guy. Curtis, do you find that you got that clip?
I still haven't gotten the email yet. I think you said.
Dude, can I know I just need to take a second here for us all to breathe and realize there are some email accounts that just drive me. I have to log into my email. Do you have to do this, Stu? Again, you're supposed to know things. I have to re-log into my email once every 7 days, or I just don't get emails. And if I forget to re-log into my email, A, my emails aren't going to send. B, they're not going to come through. That's an issue. That's big government. That's big email trying to hold me back. Does that happen to you?
Slight issue. Not on email accounts. It's usually other type of apps that I need to use, and it keeps logging me out like every couple days. I haven't had that with an email account though. No.
Yeah, like the authenticator and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Don't get me started with those.
The
worst.
world that we live in. Well, we've got abstinence already off the board for the second hour of the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Did that email go through, Curtis?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
No, not yet.
Okay, great, fine. That's Marcus King's girlfriend, Bradley, or wife, maybe? In the meantime, it's time for today's obituaries. I only have like 4 minutes here before we get to the quickie. Obituary number 1, say goodbye. Dead is the career of Chris Paul. Cliff Paul, baby. This is it, he says, writing on Instagram. It's over. After 21 years, he's stepping away. Hard to know what to feel, doesn't have the answers, but filled with so much joy. Never won a ring. Remember the time that Chris Paul was kind of the leader, the head of the Players Association, and everybody in the league, we love him, we love Chris Paul, we want him to represent us. Smart guy, good guy, savvy guy. And now it feels like no organization really wants Chris Paul. His career after 21 years has kind of petered out in the NBA. And once again, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Feels like the fans don't really care. The players don't really care. A guy who was once beloved, Dunk City, retires, and nobody's really talking about it. Nobody really cares. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Bradley Beal, they all commented on his Trae Young, Kyle Lowry, all commented on his Instagram post, and it got me thinking, where are the young guys? It's like nobody knew who came into the league. They just don't really like CP3. What a weird retirement where you can't go play in the NBA because most NBA teams said no. And all of your friends are old. And that's kind of the problem. Everyone new in the NBA forgot you. And that stinks because if you told me 12 years ago, hey, Chris Paul's retiring. Wow. The Bobcat, the Hornet,
the not Laker?
The not Laker?
I was going to say the Laker for like 24 hours.
The guy who we didn't allow to become a Laker? He's retiring? I loved him. The Clipper, Chris Paul, lobbing it up there to... Let's see. Stu, the big man on that team.
DeAndre Jordan. Blake Griffin.
Yeah, DeAndre
Both
Jordan.
those guys.
That's who we're lobbing it up to. Thank you, CP3, for your time and your service. But all you got was a minute blurb on our obituaries. What did your career come to? Wow. R.I.P. and say goodbye to the wide receiver, Travis Hunter. Dead today. Per Yahoo Sports, the Jaguars plan to use Travis Hunter as a full-time cornerback. And maybe a part-time wide receiver? No. No. That is key. That is a hidden fugazi for, I think this guy's just going to play defense. I'm not so sure we can use him on both sides of the ball in the National Football League. Yep, that makes sense. Also dead today, Mark Davis money. It's all gone. The owner of the Raiders will spend $105 million on coaches this year. $8 million on Antonio Pierce, $10 million on Josh McDaniels, $10 million on John Gruden, $16 million on Pete Carroll, $6 million on Chip Kelly, $15 million on the new head coach Clint Kubiak, and $50 million on assistant coaches. If you're wondering, yes, most of those guys have been fired by the Raiders, yet they're still paying them. And your final obituary today, you're dead if you think aliens don't exist. Here's what Barack Obama had to say on whether or not aliens are real.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
Yeah, man. You're sitting there in your high and mighty porcelain castle. I don't think aliens exist. They're not real. The President of the United States of America just told you aloud, aliens exist. But in 2026, who even knows what the news cycle is anymore? The president just said aliens are real. No one cared. Yeah, Barack, whatever. We all know that. There are people dying. There are NBA All-Star games to talk about. That is today's obituary segment, and that's who's died as of Monday, February 16th, 2026. Time for the Quickie. Stu Kovacs produces today the Drake Toll Show, and Stu's going to read 5 headlines. I've got a minute to respond to each of them. Stu, what's going on?
All right, we have Anthony Edwards. He wins the All-Star Game MVP and joins LeBron James as the only 2 players in league history to be the number 1 pick, score 10,000 points, win an Olympic gold medal, and win the All-Star Game MVP all before turning 25.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Man, I was watching it, Stu, glued to my TV last night, thinking, oh, I can't wait. I hope Anthony Edwards gets MVP of the All-Star Game so he can become the first player since LeBron to have 7 meals in a day, to have 2 feet, 10 fingers, win an NBA championship, have 10,000 points, and not be 25. And then he did it. Hang the banner. Hang the banner, Anthony Edwards. You're the MVP. They had 4 different All-Star games last night between the Stars, the Stripes, the Eagles, the Birds, the Koalas, the world. But Anthony Edwards somehow, in just a made-up way, is MVP of that. Congratulations to Anthony Edwards, who's listening right now. We commend you. That's a minute.
All right, Tyler Reddick, he wins the Daytona 500, giving team owner Michael Jordan yet another ring.
Michael Jordan. Awesome, man. Reddick finished second last year, won it this year. There was a huge crash halfway through, and in the last lap, this is probably a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever that guy climbed the tower. Remember on TV he was going to freestyle the tower? Yeah. In our group chat, somebody sent, praying for him. Hope he's safe. Hope he's healthy. Got to be really tough for his wife and kids. My thoughts are with him today. To which I responded, and yeah, I watched the NASCAR races, hoping they don't crash. Like, obviously the coolest part's the crashes, man. Everybody watches this stuff because they want to see something go wrong. And it did. Reddick won on the last lap after not leading the entire race until halfway through that last lap due to a massive crash. Michael Jordan, the GOAT at owning cars, too. And that is a big win. Do you think that in his retirement, since Michael Jordan, like as it got more high profile, his gambling, and he probably can't gamble on any book now in the world, his own physical gambling is NASCAR? Ooh, I may have cooked with that. Many are wondering. That's a minute.
All right, Seattle Seahawks find their new offensive coordinator as they lure longtime Kyle Shanahan assistant Brian Fleury away from the division rival 49ers.
Yep. Like this pickup. And by like this, I mean it's the exact same thing as almost any other hire that you see in the National Football League. The evolution of, we just hired our offensive line coach, Dan Miller. Like, yeah, I love Dan Miller's work. He's the best. Fleury's that same thing. Like, yeah, I loved his work with the 49ers as their tight ends coach and their run game coordinator. We don't know. We don't learn until they actually come into their own as an offensive coordinator in the National Football League. What I do know, though, is if you're tracking the tree, the Shanahan tree, that's a pretty good tree to be a part of, namely on the offensive side of the ball. So, congratulations. Hooray. Wonderful. May God bless and keep you, Fleury, in your new role. And this is a good move, at least from what I know, because I don't typically track the tight ends coach of NFL teams. Seems like a pretty healthy move for the Seahawks. It's a minute.
All right, Baylor baseball player Tice Armstrong makes history by hitting 3 grand slams in a single game, something that somehow was done once before.
Yeah, awesome that he was the second one to ever do it. That good old Baylor line. This is like the only
Why would I be talking
positive
about
news about my alma mater in the last ever. Like, I love Thursday. I don't love this, but Thursday, former Baylor president Ken Starr is literally the star of the Epstein files. Friday, 3 Grand Slams, baby. That's the news. That's the headline. I love that ESPN Analytics. This is a deep track. ESPN Analytics posted on Twitter. Guy hits 3 Grand Slams and adds 12 RBI. Like, wow. In spite of his 3 Grand Slams, he also had 12 ribbies over the weekend. Congratulations to the fellow Baylor Bear.
All right, last one. Derek Carr says he would consider unretiring if healthy and given a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yep. I would also unretire from elementary school if given the right amount of nap time and given the opportunity to go back and be the principal while also being a student at elementary school. You're like, well, that doesn't make... Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit... I'm older now. Carr's 34, but he's a very old 34. He's kind of a decrepit 34. It's not 2016 anymore where we're wondering, ooh, is Derek Carr good? The New Orleans experiment was terrible, was really bad. And while Carr's numbers are fine, he had a very short prime, a young prime. And after it, I don't need it. I don't need Derek Carr to come back. And also, I think you have to have a better career than to say, the ball's not in your court. The ball's not in my court to go back to elementary school. The ball's not in your court, Derek Carr. You're not good enough to say, I'm only coming back. I'm threatening you if I can compete and win a championship. You wouldn't start in the league, but okay. Injury-riddled career. Sorry to Derek Carr. Stu, that's 5?
That is 5.
That's 5. Coming up, the Drake Toll Show. Trinidad Chambliss gets a 6th year of eligibility at Ole Miss. That sets a bad precedent. That's a bad thing. 310-840-4910. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Westwood one, baby. Will Tua Tagovailoa jumpstart?
I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, soul partner, Mr. Duck Sound, better known as Sir Douglas Quintet from San Antonio. Wherever you are, brother. Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind. For you don't belong to me. Your heart belongs to someone else. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day that you went away and left me? I was so lonely, praying for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame or making me blue? So lonely, pray for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true. And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue?
Now one of these days I'll wake up tired of the life I'm living and feel inspired to get off my ass and be on my way. One of these days I'll wake up steady and ready to go like Richard Petty. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days I'm coming up to it, gonna put my foot right down and do it. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. I made a change. One of these days I'm bound for glory, and that's the moral of this whole story. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these.
We are right back. Wasn't that long, was it? On the Drake Toll Show. Oh, it's deja vu all over again. I know that voice. I know that song. You know that song now. Marcus King is right here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, the Drake Toll Show. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Stu Kovacs produces today. Addie Bates returns tomorrow, but I don't know. Maybe we... Stu, you already produced the multiple shows on the network.
Yes.
You ever thought about producing more shows on the network?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Good. We're going to keep Stu. Stu's coming back. Nice. Stu will be heavily involved in Music Monday later on in the show. Okay, so that's the Marcus King song. I asked earlier, the question was, have you guys heard of the... That's a night that the lights went out in Georgia. It was a viral video from a year ago. Last summer, really, is when it went viral. Here is what that sound is.
That's a night that the lights went out in Georgia. That's a night that they hung an innocent man. But on Justice Hall and on backwoods southern lawyer. While the judge in the town's got bloodstains on his head.
That's pretty good right there. That's pretty good. That is the wife of Marcus King, the guy who sang the first song, and that's Briley King. Really cool, actually. Both of them are friends with my girlfriend? ? They've been around. They went to listen to this, a grandma strip club in Atlanta. Yeah. together, all of them. But it's not what you're thinking. The grandmas don't come to the strip club to watch the strippers dance. No, they are. The grandmothers are the actual dancers themselves. Like the Claremont Lounge, I believe is what it's called. Stu, you know things. Is that the name of it?
That sounds great to me. Yeah, that sounds right.
Cool. Claremont Lounge.
Official grandma strip club of the Drake Toll Show.
Official grandmother strip club of the Drake Toll Show, the Claremont Lounge. Thank you. What are we doing? What are we doing? So, look, you and I can come together on a Monday, and we can meet each other right here, coastal Georgia, the low country, the coastal empire. I had raw oysters this weekend. Love a good oyster. Love an oyster. And as I'm sitting there with this mignonette, lemon, hot sauce, that's what it sounds like. I'm thinking to myself, I would love to have a good Valentine's Day. I would love to enjoy my Valentine's Day, but I can't. I'm not allowed to. They're not letting me. No one is allowing me to enjoy this Valentine's Day because the NCAA is so corrupt, so wicked. But you know what? I think the NCAA just doesn't really know what to do because the government continues to step in and say, no, we'll handle this. And it's exactly what happened in the case of Trinidad Chambliss, who will get a 6th year of eligibility. Now, I'm not mad at Trinidad. I'm not mad at Ole Miss. In fact, I think this is a guy who deserves a 6th year. And you're sitting at home like, I don't think it was a 6th year, man. I graduated college in 4 years like a normal person. Me too. I did. I did my 4 years, and I left. Trinidad Chambliss, a Ferris State product. Ferris State spends 4 years there, then goes to Ole Miss. He was injured for a bit of that. Not terribly, but injured. He goes to Ole Miss, was the backup quarterback to Austin Simmons in 2025. People forget that. He was the backup quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss. And then what happens is Chambliss leads his Ole Miss team to the Final Four, to the last 4 teams standing in the college football playoff. Facing Miami, losing, the Canes go to the national title game, but it was a tight, contested game. And Trinidad Chambliss saw his college career end after 5 years. But what I do understand is the opportunity for the future for a player. I don't care if Ole Miss wins or loses next year. I don't. But for Trinidad Chambliss, what he would have had to do is go into the NBA draft, and the NBA scouts, whoa, wow, the NBA draft? Whoa, don't do that, Trinidad Chambliss. Don't do the Russell Wilson thing and have multiple drafts. Chambliss would have gone instead into the NFL draft, because that's the sport that he plays. And the NFL scouts would have said, Trinidad, man, I don't know. You were really good your 1 year at Ole Miss. You're a little bit older. You know, Tyler Shuck was older when he got drafted. You're a little bit older. We don't know what to do with this, though. 1 year, is that sample size enough of what we guys... Because you might not know it, but Fernando Mendoza, who will go number 1 overall, played multiple years of high-level football, Power 4, Power 5 football at Cal and then Indiana. Trinidad Chambliss did not have that opportunity. He had to come into a situation at Ole Miss where he was the backup, fight his way to a starting job, landed that starting job, and was spectacular. But no one really knows where he would be drafted. He's kind of puzzling for scouts. This 6th year gives him the opportunity to go back to college, and where he was loyal to Ferris State, did not leave, could have left, made a career somewhere else. He was loyal to them for 4 years. Now he finally got his shot, and he probably needs another year under his belt to truly help his draft stock and allow us to figure out who is Trinidad Chambliss. I like this for the kid. But now we're setting a precedent that's going to murder college sports. And the precedent is, I'm going to read this as it's written out by Stu Kovacs. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss was granted an extra year of eligibility by a state court judge on Thursday, who issued an injunction that paves the way for Chambliss to be eligible in 2026. So what happens when on the night the lights went out in Georgia, and the judge had bloodstains on his hands? What about the night that the lights went out in Mississippi and the judge had an Ole Miss degree on his hands. Oh. Yeah, because see, what this has become is, hey, yeah, my starting quarterback, the NCAA won't let him play. My running back, they won't let him play. Anybody locally know a good old boy judge? I do declare. Why, yes, sir. I do know a judge, a graduate of the prestigious Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi, and he sure will let Trinidad Chambliss play an extra year. He's committed to his alma mater. That's what this is. This is just the good old boys club. Now we can do whatever we want in the NCAA. Like the judge that was ruling in the Alabama case with Bediako, the NBA guy, Bediako. That judge was a graduate of Alabama. Conflict of interest? Of course it's conflict of interest. But money is what runs this thing. Money is not what runs the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. We're run by you, the fans, the listener. So Chambliss getting a 6th year, and the United States government, a court of law, looking at the NCAA and telling them to shove it, it just means that you can do whatever you want moving forward by saying, hey, NCAA, we're going to sue you. It's going to look a little corrupt when we do it, but we're going to win. The judge detailed that the NCAA, in their decision, ignored medical evidence when they denied his waiver and said the quarterback would suffer irreparable harm if not given the extra year. I'm not saying I disagree with Chambliss getting another year. I'm cool with that, man. But the precedent we're setting says that a judge, whoever you pick, can tell the NCAA no. He would have been a mid to late NFL draft pick. But also, $5, $6, $7 million in NIL waiting for you at Ole Miss. I would like to go do that instead of a rookie contract. We now have elite 23, 24, 25-year-olds in college football, a professional model. Indiana was filled with those guys. That's how they won the national championship. Elite older players. That's what you're seeing in college football now. The super senior, again, Tyler Shuck is an example of this. He's starting for the Saints at 25, 26 years old as a rookie. NIL, transfer portal, extra years. When did this guy get a fair shake? When did he not get a fair shake? Sherman Antitrust Act. None of you want to hear about the Sherman Antitrust Act. You don't care about that, but it's what's happening right now. As Trinidad Chambliss would say, oh, if you deny me that opportunity, if you deny me that, well, you're denying me money and equal opportunity. I'm not having an equal opportunity to compete at the highest level of college athletics for the length of time that others are given. Oh, well, Malachi Toney got to have 4 years of high-level ball and NIL, and I didn't. And due to the Sherman Antitrust Act, you have to give me the equal opportunity to do so. I will just sue you. Dangerous. Dangerous precedent that we're setting right now. And if that's bad, what about North Dakota State, the Mountain West? Texas State, the Mountain West. Sacramento State, all of the states. Sacramento State, the MAC. You'll be watching. It's Tuesday night, and you're looking live. MACtion, the Mid-American Conference. Football in the midweek, as it's meant to be. In one corner, Miami, but no sandy beaches. Nigh, it's the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio and their visitor, Sacramento State? Yeah. The MAC presidents voted to add Sacramento State. They will be the only school that is west of, like, Michigan. $23 million in fees. That will be paid by Sac State to do this. $18 million to the MAC, $5 million to the NCAA, 52.4% of Sac State's annual athletic department budget. They don't care. 2,500-mile commute. They don't care. They're 2,000 miles away from their closest opponent, Northern Illinois. But they've got money. So next season, no Sac State, no North Dakota State in the FCS level. They are gone as it pertains to competing for a national championship in the Division I pipeline. Interesting. But Sac State has a whole lot of change in their pockets, including a $55 million NIL budget. Every donor just came together and said, you know what? We'll do it. We'll pay for them to be good. And they have. And that will continue to work as long as in college athletics we allow it. And we just keep allowing it. That college football update is sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com, progressivecommercial.com. I know what you're saying to yourself. How can I listen to the Drake Toll Show? I usually get up at 7:30, but I miss an hour and a whole hour and a half of the show. Available wherever you find your podcast, wherever. Apple, Spotify, you name it, we have it. We got it. The Drake Toll Show is there. Just search The Drake Toll Show, and you're on top of it. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Idiot of the Day is up next. Adam Silver. It's time to have a talk. This is The Drake Toll Show.
Could Kyler Murray be next year's Sam Darnold?
If you want to feel better, don't let the devil make you toss this letter. If you've been crushed up by voodoo, the wizard or the lizard, you got family trouble, man trouble, woman trouble, no night through the rubble. You're looking for a true friend or a true lover, or if you've been living undercover, well, I'm coming to your town to break it all down and help you with all of this. I'm looking to help you find bliss. One day, one way, can't miss. I'm here to tear all the walls down. Doesn't matter if it's a large town or a small town. Just like Joshua and the fabled walls of Jericho, I'm here to tear down the institution. God spoke to me, said, listen to me. I anoint you with the power that'll get them all moving. You're agitated, you're prayed and meditated, you're concentrated on getting elevated. By sundown, one day, you who come will be blessed with a big money blessing. You will be doubted by all the unbelievers on all of the things I'm addressing. But you must tell 7 friends. You must first bring 7 friends. And don't be selfish and keep this all to yourself and don't eat shellfish. Hate is trying to take someone else's love for yourself. But I'm here to tell you that love is trying to help someone else. I realize that you have tried and are just about ready to give up. But I got good news for you. God has spoken in my mind and told me to tell you to get moving in the right direction for a change. I'm gonna put you in the fast lane. You need to see me right away so I can fix this up. You need to see me right away. You need to see me right away so I can fix this up. You need to see me right about now. God 7, open up the windows of heaven and pour out a rich and mighty blessing. Not on this town or her town, but your town. Are you ready for the message? I have a special financial blessing that once I have placed in your hand. Yeah, I want you to begin using this blessing on the very first day that you can. And if you are suffering a straight sickness, or someone is blocking up all of your success, you need to see me right away so I can fix this.
Well, I'm high as a fly on Willie Nelson's wall, and I can't remember where I am at all. And I don't know where my mind has taken me, with my boots in my hand and my hat on my feet. Somebody drive me home. Well, I don't know if I should be left alone. And if my girlfriend calls, well, tell her I'm just a fly on the wall. Well, I'm drunk as an uncle in a Walmart parking lot, blaring Margaritaville and taking up two spots. Windows down, beer cans on the ground, and I ain't moving if the police come around. Somebody drive me home. Well, I don't know if I should be left alone. And if my girlfriend calls,
Jordan Bell.
Let's go. It's the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you. Do you see it? You look out your window on the East Coast today. At least out my window, I can see the horizon, thanks to the coastal nature of where I live. There's just like this thin violet line, like the first gold vein that bleeds into the Atlantic. There's just a cathedral of salt and silence. The ever soft whoosh of the ocean. The tide retreating in a rhythmic hiss. The sand almost mirroring, slick. And the sun crests. A molten coin, a sphere pressed against the throat of the sky. It doesn't just rise. It brings weight, like an ancient promise to me that I'd come back again, and here you are. The waves once cold now roll amber, jade, turquoise, every crest, sea foam. It's like it's shattered into diamonds, low-slung light, but so sudden. The dunes of the sand, pale and silver, they bow offshore in the breeze. And to sit here, to stand here, to be with you right here today on your radio, to be sentient in this moment is to be dissolved in radiance, a small witness to the burning resurrection of my coast, the coast. Or you could be waking up in Manitoba, where it's like 7 degrees. Actually, 7's probably really hot for today. -7 degrees. Good morning, either way, to all of you. Deep breath. Prepare yourself. Before I go into war, absolute battle, congratulations to the 6-year-old who sold 87,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Great story. 87,000. 87,000! It's a new record for the 6-year-old. Pretty awesome. She's like the cutest kid ever. And she is not included on our Idiots of the Day.
Idiot of the Day.
Yep. I can only stall so long before a slap and tickle finds us all. Bonk. It's so bad, but it's addictive. Our first idiot of the day, Adam Silver. Remember when the whole Giannis Kalshi thing happened? Giannis went from, controlling the Kalshi market thing to being an investor in Kalshi. Here's what Adam Silver had to say about that, what I would call controversy.
In the case of Giannis, from what I understand, it's a minuscule investment, much smaller than 1%. So that does not violate the rules that have been collectively bargained with the Players Association. I mean, obviously it's an issue that I'm paying enormous amount of attention to. It's rapidly evolving. Prediction markets have now come on the scene fairly recently as, I don't know how else to say it, major sports betting marketplaces. Whether prediction markets are allowed to go forward in the form they're in now will, I think, ultimately be an issue for the courts and for Congress. But even if they go away, I mean, the league is now dealing with essentially 40 different jurisdictions that have legalized sports betting in the United States. Still a huge illegal market.
Yeah, so Adam Silver's justification for Giannis investing in a website that made a lot of people money based on Giannis's own decisions. I'm not calling it inside trading, but it's not necessarily discouraged by these polymarket sites. So Giannis calls the investment minuscule, much smaller than 1%. But June Lee tweets, Kalshi's worth $11 billion. Giannis can own up to 1% under the NBA's rules, but 1% of Kalshi is $110 million. Half a percent of Kalshi, $55 million. So yeah, it's a non-issue. It's super minuscule. If minuscule in your world is $55 million, I would like a minuscule amount of money, please. I would also like a minuscule investment into one of these things. That's the case for our first idiot of the day, Adam Silver, who's not done. All I want is a better NBA. All I want is a better product, Adam. That's all I want. Instead, Adam Silver says, I want AI.
For me, there's no doubt that AI will have the same impact on sports. And one area in particular that I think it's worth addressing is impact on the fan experience. And one of the things that we're beginning to see already is how we're going to be able to more than personalize, almost hyper-personalize our telecasts and allowing people to experience the game in any way they want. And so to me, we're about to witness probably the most significant change, certainly in my lifetime, in how sports are presented. And beyond that, in the hyper-personalization, if people want to shop during a game, if they want to be on social media and having an ongoing discussion about some aspect of the game. I think it's a really exciting moment and transformation.
Hey, Adam. Your viewership is at a record low. Your response to that is adding more gimmicks in the middle of an NBA season, play-in tournament, or changing the All-Star game for the 16th time in the last 6 years. Skills test. Adam, how could you improve the NBA that feels like it's become lackluster and fans are losing interest? How could we fix this? AI? That's the answer? AI and you can shop during games? What? No. I don't think that's what I was looking for. What I was looking for personally here is a way to fix the NBA. And I don't know if draining some pond in Culver City, California is the answer. To fuel the AI machine, the AI bots that are going to... At what level have we run out of human competence in the National Football League? As to say that we need AI to do this for us, that's going to fix everything. Great. Idiot of the day, Kevin Durant, for thinking that any of his opinions on social media have ever mattered at all. Here's what he had to say about whether he'd give up Twitter or video games.
If you could give up one thing for the rest of your life, Twitter or video games, damn, which one would it be?
Man, I'm gonna go Twitter. Because they don't deserve to hear this God level like talk I'm giving to them. They take it for granted, cuz.
Yeah, Kevin Durant. You know, I think Kobe would have physically assaulted a reporter for asking him Twitter or video games. Google Kobe physical assault for more. That is like what has the NBA become that at the highest level players are talking about whether or not they'd go on Twitter or video games. I love my video games. Kobe would be very upset with this. Idiot of the day, the Canada curling team. There's controversy, I think, on both men's and women's side for their curling and whether they cheated during the matches. Multiple Canadian curlers? This is the only time ever that this would be relevant, but it is today because curling. Buckle up, because here's the latest from Nolan Thyssen, the CEO of curling. They have one of those in Canada, said on their cheating controversy.
Was there a potential rules infraction? That's for World Curling officials to decide. There was no cheating. Our team wouldn't cheat and doesn't cheat. The comment is that Mark was releasing the stone and then potentially touching the granite with his finger. I think is what they were arguing about there with the viral video that has went all over the place. But it would be a touched moving stone or a double touch stone in the rule book is really what I think they were debating and what I think was the officials were alerted to.
As a former elite curler, does actually putting your finger on, not the handle, but on the stone, does that actually give you any advantage at all?
I don't think so.
Nice. Love it. Curling. Huzzah. We didn't cheat. I didn't know there was a World Curling Association either. This is all news to me. Finally, Doug Gottlieb, what you got for us?
The exact same play. I did not curse. I was not demonstrative. I did not leave my box. All I said was, that's the same play as the other end. All we ask is that there's a fair game. That's what we ask. I need Donnie at the league and the new commissioner to explain to me the disparity in the officiating. I got no problem with their team, their staff. They played hard. The last play of the game, just to get the ball, they were grabbing us and holding us. Okay? And I understand. If you're not calling that, that's fine. You had the exact same play at both ends in the last play of the game. The exact same play. The exact same play. There was nothing that should have been called a technical foul. I know when I earned one. I did not earn one.
All-time rant from Doug Gottlieb.
The exact same play.
Yeah, same play. Same thing. Head coach of the Green Bay Phoenix men's basketball team, who's actually doing pretty well this season. Good for you, Doug. All-time crash out at the podium after he got a technical. On the other side, Mike Vorkunov joins the show. Yeah, time to talk about the NBA All-Star break, how to fix it, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepson when he's loaded, has a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation, glad they conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
Baby, do that conga, no, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga, no, you can't control yourself any longer.
Here we go. It is the Drake Toll Show. Good morning, world. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. You're like 9 years old. You know, you're sitting in your car. It's 2006-ish. The Super Bowl is on. You can't watch it. You're listening to the first quarter of it in the car. It's Westwood One, man, you know? now 24/7 radio. And right here you are on a Monday morning with the Drake Toll Show. Jim Rome will get you home this afternoon. A whole lot of great stuff in the meantime. But the highlight of my day, Mike Verkanoff from The Athletic, co-founder of the 30 newsletter, at Mike Verkanoff on Twitter, joins the show because the NBA, I was told going into the weekend, the NBA All-Star break needed some serious fixing. And look, Mike, if I had done this show 20 years ago, we'd open with, wow, what a game. Western Conference 155, Eastern Conference 145, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Paul Pierce, Vince Carter versus Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett. But that's not the case today. Instead, it's the stars, the stripes, the world. But, Mike, by and large, the response to the way the All-Star game has evolved, did the NBA, no one's really that mad. Did the NBA get it right yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday seemed like it was pretty good. The first three games were great. The final wasn't that good. I don't know if that was as much of a lack of effort as much as maybe the name of the LeBron was kind of gassed because they had played their third straight game, and there was some pretty competitive round robin games to get there. But I think the whole thing worked. It was definitely an improvement from what we had seen the last few years, which was pretty listless, boring basketball.
At the same time, while I thought the All-Star games, plural, themselves were solid yesterday, the dunk contest, the rising stars, the rest of the events once again seemed to fail to live up to any expectation. What happened to the game I love? Mike, how do we fix the dunk contest?
I mean, I think the answer is pretty simple. Get people in there who fans have heard of.
Yeah.
I had to Google Kashad Johnson. I'll be honest. Before that, the guy who had won a few dunk contests in a row was a G League player, Mac McClung. Now, the guy who won it last night or Saturday night was someone who's played like 150 minutes in the NBA this year and went undrafted 2 years ago.
Oh.
It's hard for people to care if there's no one in there that they care about. Can you get players of significance to get into the dunk contest? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it lately, but maybe there's a way to fix that too.
Mike Verkanoff of The Athletic joining the Drake Toll Show. Maybe a piece of this for me is, and we'll get to Adam Silver, but a piece of this is less about the leadership of the NBA and more about the mentality from the NBA stars. We played a clip 15 minutes ago of Kevin Durant answering a question from a reporter about whether or not he'd give up Twitter or video games. And can you imagine someone asking Kobe Bryant that question in the middle of his prime? It would make zero sense. But it seems as though Nikola Jokic, being a big fan of his horses and ready to be done with the NBA season to get back home, there are stars of the NBA today that seem kind of lackluster about the product or the league itself. Is that why we're seeing such a decline in fan effort in 2026?
I don't know how much those two things are related. I mean, I think it's just gotten to a point where nobody puts a lot of emphasis on All-Star Weekend, and so if nobody's putting a lot of emphasis on it, why should the players? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And until you can fix for that, you got to figure it out. Like the 3-point contest is still a lot of fun, but that's also a low effort thing, low embarrassment event. Whereas the dunk contest has a little bit more stakes to it, and if you crash out in the dunk contest, that's not going to be a good look for you.
Yeah. I think you saw over the course of the weekend, some things hit, some things did not for the NBA. And one of the things that did not was the Adam Silver press conference. And some of these answers were taken out of context. We poked fun at the one he mentioned about AI, talking about the future of the draft, and a big piece of that was tanking. Let's dive in there a bit. Mike, the tanking, he called it worse than ever. Do you agree with the commissioner of the National Basketball Association that tanking is at an all-time bad?
No, I mean, last year was pretty bad. The last few years have been pretty bad. I don't know if this is the worst that we've ever seen. It might just be a continuation of the worst that we've ever seen. But this is the biggest punishment that the NBA has done to this point. So it might be, look, we're saying it's the worst we've ever seen because now this is what's finally getting us to act. But the Jazz have been doing this for a few years. The Toronto Raptors were doing similar stuff last year. This has been the state of the league for a number of years now.
Mike Verkanoff of The Athletic joins the Drake Toll Show. 30 newsletter on Twitter, host of The Business Decision, and Mike, an NBA insider who's giving insight on not just the All-Star break, but also the ins and outs of fixing the tanking problem. I mean, so Mike, question that I have, tanking as it has existed in pro sports and across the board forever, does it need to be fixed? It almost feels like, that the more you hammer home the issue and say, hey, this is an issue you should care about, the less and less people seem to be invested in it.
I mean, I think it needs to be fixed mostly because it creates a situation where the games, so many of them, you go into them and one team doesn't prioritize winning, right? Like, that's just bad. It's bad to watch. It's not good for fans. It's probably bad for players too, even though they're not the ones tanking. So, like, do you want – I think I did the math, like, before this week, something like 47% of the games included at least one team who had an incentive to lose. That's probably not great for the integrity of the games, right? Like, that's not a problem that exists in baseball. That's not a problem that exists primarily in the NFL, except for like 1 week, right? In the NBA, we see this people start talking about tanking from like January on. I feel like that's bad. I feel like you want to have games that matter no matter what time of the year they are. But the problem is, at this point, the incentives are for the teams to lose. Like, I can't disagree with what the Jazz are doing, what the Pacers are doing, the Nets are doing, a few other teams in there. Like, it's better for them long term to just be as bad as they can be and maximize their draft pick. And so those two things are in conflict. Like, the NBA has different interests than the teams, and you got to figure out how to make it so they align.
It felt like Ryan Smith, the owner of the Utah Jazz, was as vocal as I've seen an owner in the wake of this. He's tweeted multiple times about being fined by the NBA, even after winning the game against Miami, and about how his team, he's not necessarily trying to tank. He's just, and surely he didn't say this, but surely believes that there are NBA rules, as you mentioned, that you take advantage of. There are things you take advantage of. Is Ryan Smith being vocal and on the forefront of this going to change anything? Does that almost drive fans to be more against the NBA? Because Smith seems to be fairly reasonable with most of what he's put out there.
I mean, at the very least, it means one owner is pushing back against Adam Silver, right? Yeah. And you got to get enough voters you got to get enough owners to vote on this to agree to change the rules. So that part's interesting. And again, like, I totally get where Ryan Smith is coming from. Like, he's trying to do what's best for the Utah Jazz. For the Utah Jazz, it's best to get the highest pick they can because they've been pretty bad for the last few years, haven't gotten a high pick, and they're still in this rebuild that seems to last indefinitely until they finally made a trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm curious to see if there are other owners who feel similarly and how much pushback there is behind the scenes to Adam Silver as the NBA tries to fix its tanking situation, which is a pretty hard thing to fix unless you just take the draft away altogether.
Yeah. Joining the Drake Toll Show, Mike Verkanoff here from The Athletic. Mike, the Portland Trailblazers, it's not. I've watched Quad Box this morning, all the biggest stories in the NBA, NFL, NHL, Olympics, and the Blazers haven't been brought up, but they're a story I think a lot of people are missing, and a big piece of the reason I've been able to follow it is through your social media and your reporting. What are the odds, and it's kind of an abrupt turn, but one that again I think is overlooked. What are the odds the Portland Trailblazers remain long-term the Portland Trailblazers?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think they're probably likely to still stay in Portland. It's really hard to move a team. There's a lot of things that go against that. Namely, the NBA doesn't like to move teams. And one of the things, Adam Silver said during his press conference the other night was that relocation is out of the question for this current round of expansion. If the NBA does expand, it doesn't seem like they would relocate. And even if they don't expand, it doesn't seem like they would relocate. So my guess is still that, in the end, this all works out and they stay there. But there's a conflict right now between, local governments in Oregon and Portland and the incoming ownership group about the Blazers. They need to fix the arena situation. And there's the big question that's always the case. Who's going to pay for it when neither side really wants to pay a lot of money to do it? And so until someone comes up with the money, it's just going to hang out there, and it's going to be an uneasy time in Portland.
Some other heavy hitters out there, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks saga. Is he happy? Is he actually committed to Milwaukee? Was this all just some big farce for whatever reason? Or is there a strong chance that even still, despite his comments, Giannis is no longer a Buck within the next year?
I'm just going to plead out. I don't know. We've all been trying to figure out what Giannis wants and what he's thinking. And no one's been able to figure it out for the last, 6 months, a year, whatever it's been. I'm not going to be the guy who tries to do it. The last thing he said was he's going to try to recruit people to Milwaukee. We'll see how he feels in May, right? As he makes sure he definitely does not ask for a trade or request to get traded, but also would not be unhappy to get traded. So parsing those words is itself, a reading of its own. I think, look, maybe a lot of it will weigh on what draft pick the Bucks get in the lottery in May, what they can do to placate him, to keep him happy. This is basically his free agency this summer since he has a year left on his deal, and Milwaukee might be, insane to want to let him leave in free agency for nothing and let it come to that. So I'm just going to punt on it and see, and just see what, everyone divines when we get to June.
From Giannis to LeBron, not announcing his retirement, not saying he's not retiring, still deciding, question mark, where is he next year? There are so many ways you could go in the LeBron saga we're entering right now, whether it be his team next season or if he's here next season. And so we'll start there. Is this the last year of LeBron James in the NBA, or do you see him coming back?
If I had to guess, I think he'll be back next year. I think the question then is, where is he going to play? Because it doesn't seem like it's going to be Los Angeles, and that to me is pretty interesting. So I think he'll be back. I think if he were to retire, or if he intends to retire, we'd see some messaging about it. Maybe we see a retirement tour. Nike does the whole thing. I don't think we've seen over the last 10 years, a legend, like a huge legend like LeBron, just kind of retire last second and leave with no kind of trail leading up to it.
Everyone does seem in the modern era to do their tour, and surely LeBron will do the same. I'm with you there. Mike Virkanov of The Athletic. You can hear him also on the Business Decision, joining the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, Westwood One Sports app. You've been a leading voice here on this cap circumvention from the Clippers. When will the outcome come to fruition? When will we see the end of this, and what is the aftermath going to be of the cap circumvention in Los Angeles?
Well, I have no idea what they're going to find. It's hard to know. I think only like a handful of people really have insight into what the investigation has found to this point and where it might go. But I think, there's a Board of Governors meeting in late March. That might seem like a good time, but I think it's hard to kind of handicap a timetable for all this. But we've gotten to this point. We've gotten to the All-Star break. So this investigation was announced in September. So we're 6 months in, and I think the Robert Sarver investigation took roughly 9 months. So it's, maybe if not one Board of Governors meeting in March, maybe then it's July. This is the tough thing with these NBA investigations, is that no one really knows what's going on except for a few handful of people. So the rest of us are all just kind of left guessing.
Do you have an idea of the worst case scenario of penalties, whether it be for Ballmer or the Clippers? What is, in your opinion, the worst that the NBA can come down on the organization?
Yeah, the penalties are spelled out in the CBA. I mean, they can fine him $7.5 million. They can, suspend Steve Ballmer. We saw that in the past with Glenn Taylor. The last time we had a significant cap circumvention penalty, that was with Joe Smith and the Timberwolves in 1999 and 2000, and they took away 5 picks from the Timberwolves. So they can take away picks from the Clippers. They can fine and suspend Ballmer. They can fine the team. They can ban executives or suspend executives. They can even unwind Kawhi Leonard's contract. So there's some pretty significant things that the NBA can do if Adam Silver thinks there's enough there to justify it.
It is the wealth of knowledge of Mike Vorkunov that it's, look, across the NBA. Like I said, this circumvention with the Clippers, namely, is where I've kind of followed it based on your reporting at the forefront of it. And Mike, incredibly grateful for your time to join the Drake Toll Show and give us the insight, whether it be LeBron and USA versus the world or the LA Clippers. Man, I'm super appreciative of your perspective.
All happy to do it. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. At Mike Vorkunov. You can find him on Twitter. It's VORKUNOV for all of your NBA, namely that Clippers story as it continues to evolve. Up next, Malik Willis, Tua Tagovailoa, Kyler Murray, Mac Jones. You know those names. Are they the next Sam Darnold? Are they Jared Goff? Are they good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL next season? Here is what you need to know. I mean, need to know. When you walk into the office today and you talk about the quarterback carousel that's about to take the NFL by storm, it's the Westwood One Sports app, Westwood One Sports. Call the show, text the show, 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Will the Seahawks franchise tag Kenneth Walker or
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do that conga beat. me do that conga. Pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-da-da-da.
Good morning, America. And Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Vietnam, any number of the nations of our world that you could be listening from right now. It's the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you. Fresh off of Banana Land at Sea. That's right, man. The Savannah Bananas take a cruise. Bring 3,000 of their closest fans on the boat. All 6 teams in the Banana Ball Championship League, which, by the way, makes its kickoff next weekend, not this coming weekend, next weekend in Tallahassee at the football stadium of the Florida State Seminoles. Pretty cool. The Bananas will play the Texas Tailgaters. The Loco Beach Coconuts will meet the Firefighters. The Party Animals will take on the Indianapolis Clowns. I will be on site, covering it very closely for you. I ain't never got none of that. May not go on and send the Savannah Bananas in my ruining baseball. If that is your thought, that's okay. I'm not going to make you turn the radio off. I'm not going to make you leave. But I personally enjoy doing the job that I do to make a living and enjoy seeing 80,000 people have a really good time watching a banana ball game in a football stadium. If you hate something just because you don't understand it, I'm not so sure if that's the wisest way to approach this. If you hate something because you choose not to understand it, well, that's the definition of closed-mindedness. So follow along. Come with me. Banana ball's okay. We'll all go on a cruise together and then be on that cruise for 14 extra hours. What's even better about the whole deal is, again, we're supposed to get off the cruise ship at 8:30 in the morning on Friday. We did not get off until 12:30 a.m., so 14 extra hours-ish on this cruise. More than that, whatever that math is. And what's even crazier is they were gearing up for a Kid Rock cruise after us. Oh, buddy. Cowboy hats, boots. Get off the boat at midnight, 1 a.m., and as we get off, they're boarding. They're about to board the next group of cruisers. And what they had done, the cruise line, is because, you can't just, you could refund the day, but you can't move the cruise back. You can't be like, hey, we're going on an extra day of the cruise. You can't do that because people have paid for this certain amount of days, and the cruise ship has to go on the next cruise and the next cruise. And so what they did is they just boarded everybody from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., got them on the cruise, and sailed away, missing an extra day, missing a day of this country music cruise they were going on. So as we get off the boat, thousands of Kid Rock fans, country music fans, are standing outside of the boat. There were police officers. There were multiple arrests. Because the decision was, since they can't go on the cruise on Friday, let's buy tickets for all of these people to go see Rascal Flatts. So they all go to Rascal Flatts in Tampa, have one too many cervezas, and brawls begin to break out outside of the cruise ship as we departed with our family-friendly, variations of 5 to 14-year-olds that wanted to see the Savannah Bananas. What a conglomerate it was. And I'm alive today to tell the tale, alongside Curtis Poindexter, who runs the board, Stu Kovacs, who produces, Addie Bates returning tomorrow. And look, there is a question today of why in the world would the Drake Toll Show be talking about Malik Willis? Why is it choo choo choo? Is Kyler Murray the next Sam Darnold? You're wondering, what? Why? What does that have to do with anything? Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, why are these the guys at the center of the conversation? But the question is apropos. The question is timely because one of those four, statistics would tell you, will be a revived star in the NFL, like a Geno Smith, like he was for a bit, like a Sam Darnold, like a Jared Goff. Remember when Jared Goff first started out, it was like, oh, I don't know if I like this guy. Now he's a pretty darn stable quarterback. Chris Sims joined the Dan Patrick Show. Here's his take on Malik Willis.
I think Malik Willis is a superstar, right? I would think he is the crowning gem of guys that's going to be out there as far as free agents that you can get no compensation, trading, any like that.
Why wouldn't Pittsburgh go for Malik Willis?
If I were them, I'd be looking at that. You're exactly right. I mean, Malik Willis has proven. I mean, he's got special talent. He has a special arm. He's got special mobility. He knows how to run the offense and do all of that. So, yeah, he's a great story here. And, again, another story of, we looked at the draft and, again, I was a Malik Willis fan coming out. And it was like, okay, yeah, I know Kenny Pickett can play in the pocket, and he's very good in the meeting room. And I'm so sick of that damn dumb discussion all the time with some of these quarterbacks. And I'm going to go, oh, yeah, how did that meeting room and in the pocket work for you, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia Raiders? How about the guy that has a ton of talent and can make game-changing plays and just needs a little polish and needs to be coached a little?
I do think it's very silly that the last take for Chris Sims, I'm going to push back entirely. Oh, how did that work out for you, huh? The guy can't take a test, huh? Or the guy's good at the test, we're going to draft him, and the guy can't take a test, you're not going to do, huh? How did it work out for you? Well, having Malik Willis hasn't really worked out for anybody. You can't make fun of these organizations, these franchises, for not drafting or adding Malik Willis, but instead missing with Kenny Pickett, when honestly, what has Malik Willis done that has been better than Kenny Pickett outside of a very small sample size? I think he's a future superstar. We can talk about this. We can have this conversation. We can open this up and compare these four quarterbacks, but to say Malik Willis is a superstar, it appears as though he revitalized his career in Green Bay. And it is true. He's sought after now. 78% completion percentage. Ooh, yeah. 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Dual threat, 261 rushing yards this season. It's more than you and I had. Another piece of that, another piece of this talk that you and I are having is that last taste that we got in our mouth when Green Bay played Baltimore. And we started to ask ourselves, well, what is the state of Malik Willis as an NFL football player? What is his trajectory in this league? And now, sought after as he is, does your favorite team want him? Would you take him? Because in that game, 41-24 home loss, he wasn't the world beater that everyone's explaining me he would be. Instead, it was Tyler Huntley that was pretty efficient, looked pretty good, and Malik Willis, who lost the game by 17 points. A couple rushing touchdowns. But was that the Malik Willis you want to be your franchise quarterback? A guy who this year was 30 for 35 some odd? That's not a lot of playing time. Really, not a lot of anything. I don't hate Malik Willis. I don't. But I don't know if he's a superstar. $40 million per year. If you go to the Dolphins, the Cardinals, or the Jets, sounds great. But if you're any of those organizations, do you want to pay $40 million a year for Malik Willis? How about Tua Tagovailoa? Oh, man. Concussion City. could play at a high level with an offensive genius, a great offensive mind, in Mike McDaniel. And remember, you told me, everyone told me, Drake Toll on the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, that Mike McDaniel was an offensive genius. One of the greats of his time. You cut that man's brain open and you'll find extra stems. He's got more than just, 6 quadrants of the brain, whatever it is. He's got more than that. He's so smart. Okay. Well, he proved his wits by making Tua Tagovailoa a competent NFL quarterback, a good NFL quarterback, a great, not elite, but great for a year NFL quarterback. He let him play at the highest level, at a very good level. But then it fizzled out. And I don't think you can unbecome an offensive genius. I don't think your genius can go away. However, as an athlete, as a quarterback, you can certainly unbecome a great quarterback, unbecome a great NFL player. Personally, I think Mike McDaniel wasn't necessarily the issue because I am of the mind you do not unbecome a genius. I do think Tua could have been the problem. So while the potential was there, and he showed very good flashes of being a possibly elite NFL quarterback, maybe one day he can be elite, I beg you this. If we're comparing all these guys to Sam Darnold, the difference would be that Sam Darnold, we can deduce throughout his career, coaching has been an issue. The franchise has been the issue. We've now learned that. For Tua, I don't think the coach was the issue. We didn't see Sam Darnold rise to stardom, to prowess, to Pro Bowl levels, to all-pro levels. We did see that from Tua, and then it fizzled out. We know why Sam Darnold's career started so slow, and it was out of his hands mostly. For Tua, that's well in his hands, well within his brain. Concussion history? Do you want that? Do you want to trade for him knowing that his next concussion might be the last one before he hangs it up? You can go to the Raiders, go to the Colts, maybe mentor Fernando Mendoza. But 15 interceptions and then benched in 2025, he's not starting next year. What about Kyler Murray in this conversations of quarterbacks that have been and could be? First overall pick, Kyler Murray, the baseball player, Kyler Murray. Great legs, good arm talent, only like 5'6", but hey, whatever. A playmaker, a play creator, and possibly a nightmare for D coordinators. He's been around for, 7, 8 years? Kyler Murray's been here in the National Football League. And he's been inconsistent. In his late 20s. Lack of postseason success. Though he brought the Cardinals to pretty strong heights, and it fizzled out. They haven't been relevant in years now with Kyler Murray as their starting quarterback. And have yet another head coaching change. He's 38, 48-1 in his career. He's old. He hasn't won in a long time. He's far removed from being that number 1 overall pick. Injuries have been an issue, and there's nothing about Kyler Murray that says franchise quarterback, future of a franchise. But the Vikings, they need something. They need whatever they can get. The Browns, they need something, whatever they can get under Todd Monken. The Jets, Aaron Glenn, they need a savior. Could Kyler Murray save Aaron Glenn? I don't think so. But the former first overall pick awaits his next team. Mac Jones, another Shanahan guy, walks in and is like, oh, you know what? I can play football. Started in the year, I should say, in a backup role behind Brock Purdy, and due to injury was given a good chance to start. 5-3 record as a starter. Reliable, pretty cost efficient. I don't have to give him $40 million. I can go grab this guy, have him on my roster. If I need him, I can use him. And while he's not an athlete, he's not particularly athletic, doesn't have great arm strength, isn't going to be an elite quarterback in the NFL, cheap option, short option, and just learned under Shanahan in San Francisco. So if the Falcons don't buy Michael Penix, the Steelers don't have Aaron Rodgers, the Vikings need something that's not J.J. McCarthy, because at this point, J.J. McCarthy probably just needs a reset somewhere else, because they all, even his teammates, are like, this guy sucks. Sam Darnold just made J.J. McCarthy very, very sad by being incredibly good, winning the Super Bowl, and showing that, yeah, the Vikings should have kept the other guy. So, the Falcons, the Steelers, the Vikings, is Mac Jones your option? Choose your fighter in this quarterback carousel. Tua Tagovailoa, Kyler Murray, Mac Jones, or the man that Chris Sims calls a superstar in the league, Malik Willis. Is he worth it? Is he worth superstar? Oof. Sample size is too small for me to say that is the case. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Progressivecommercial.com. Coming up. The Winter Olympics. I watched a lot of it yesterday. You'll never guess what the biathlon is. The polyathlon is. I'll tell you. I'll fill you in on that secret. And it's Music Monday. All of that and more right here. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Westwood One, baby. Will Tua talk?
Our naked bodies go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation gladly conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice of all the young gods I have known. Yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
Sweet little body as you're rolling in the caddy with me.
Here we go.
I got a sweet little body as you're rolling in the caddy with me.
Hello, world. There is something about my celestial seasonings honey lemon ginseng tea with no plastic wrap and same great taste that contains caffeine that really wakes you up in the morning. That's what I'm here for you and I to share tea, morning tea. Good to be back. It's great to be back with you after my cruise last week, my work cruise. I was paid to be on the cruise. It just meant that I couldn't have a lot of pina coladas. It was an adjustment. Wide 80. Check, check, check. Omaha. That was it. Just you had to check a couple times, readjust, no pina coladas, ride that cruise out. And now I'm back. You know, the NBA All-Star break reminded me a lot of the 1904 Summer Olympics. But I'll get to that in a second. Did you guys see the Olympics this weekend? I watched the biathlon for the first time. They have to cross-country ski. So you're climbing hills, skiing, coming down hills, going through just, straight, even surfaces. Not a single American was competing in the finals of this, by the way. Shame. Shame on you, America. And biathlon would mean two different things, or two things you're doing in the total event. One of them, cross-country skiing. Seen it. The other, shooting a rifle. Curtis, you ever seen this?
Oh, it sounds made up. Especially
Stu, you big biathlon guy?
I
No,
love
I'm
this.
not.
I saw this on my TV earlier. It's very cool.
They put the gun on their back and they ski through the mountain and then they just stop and fired a bunch of targets. It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Can Americans be
Late
perfect
air
for
and
this?
then pick up. Yeah.
Americans would be great at this.
I love doing that stuff.
Yeah, we've got the gun thing down. It's just the skiing part we need a little bit. Like, how in the world was there no American in the final of this? So you ski kind of slowly into the gun range portion, and the reason you go slow is to lower your heart rate so you can shoot the guns. What? That's awesome, man. No Americans. But speed skater Jordan Stolz, watch this one, pretty awesome. He won gold at the men's 500-meter Olympic record time of 33.77 seconds. He was the underdog, too. Was not supposed to win. Some guy from the Netherlands was supposed to. 21-year-old is the first male skier to sweep both distances at a single Olympics since Eric Heiden in 19. You remember Eric Heiden, American? Really, really good. Michaela Schifrin finished 11th. She was upbeat. High intensity, aggressive on her skis. Men's hockey team beat Germany. They're now 3-0. 5-1 was the final score over Germany. Another win against the Germans. Good for America. Quad God finished 8th in free skate. I didn't know about Quad God. Ilya Malinin. Yeah. Kazakhstan's Mikhail Shidorov got a gold medal. A lot of names you've never heard of and names that you'll never hear again. But man, is it fun to watch I watched the moguls, ski moguls for the first time. That's just a great way to hurt your knees.
See the guy that cheated on his girlfriend?
Yeah, man.
Talked about that last week while you were gone.
He told the world. He's like, man, I'm a dirty lying, no good cheat. Take me back. Would love to know how that ended. Now that we're about a week removed from it. But I likened the Summer Olympics, actually, Olympic tie-in, 1904, to what we saw in the lackluster, disastrous weekend in the NBA All-Star events. Not just the game, but the events they performed over the weekend. 1904 would take you all the way back. St. Louis Olympics. They were not just a flop. Total incompetence. The single stupidest event in sports history was the 1904 Summer Olympic Marathon. 32 starters, 14 actually finished the race. There was a dust bowl as the race was on dusty, unpaved roads. And the lead car, which is what they would use in 1904 to show you, hey, here's the path. It kicked up so much dust, it tore through William Garcia's esophagus and stomach. He was the lead runner for a while, in the dust, right behind the lead car, until he nearly died. Thomas Hicks, you'll remember the name. His coaches fed him strychnine, which is rat poison, and an entire bottle of brandy throughout the race, as he hallucinated, stumbling forward for the last several miles and crossing the finish line like a zombie. He had lost 8 pounds during the run. The winner, Fred Loers, quit 9 miles in, called a cab, hopped in, waved at fans, and then, when the cab broke down, he jogged the last couple of miles past the finish line and was named the winner, only to have his title revoked when he was exposed as a fraud. And the Cuban postman, yes, postman, Anderin Carvajal, showed up in long pants and without shoes. He had not eaten in 40 hours, stopped at an orchard on the track to eat apples that were poisoned, got a stomach cramp, took a nap, woke up, finished 4th. What's worse in all of this is that the aforementioned Thomas Hicks, who ate rat poison and drank a bottle of brandy, won the entire event. He used what they called a Victorian-era suicide cocktail and drank it 10 miles from the finish. They gave him a lot of strychnine to coat his stomach and help him win. And they called him the Walking Dead as he passed finish with an ashen gray on his face. He was convinced, while hallucinating, that the finish line was still 20 miles away. So he begged his trainers for food and water, but they only gave him more brandy and raw eggs. His trainers carried him across the finish line to gold. That is what the NBA All-Star weekend felt like, from the Rising Stars game to the dunk contest. Just me drinking endless amounts of brandy and raw eggs, hoping that it ends. But nope, it's still 20 miles away. It's Music Monday. Stu Kovacs produces the Drake Toll Show today. But first, Stu, I've got one for you. The artist is John Tesh. I need you to name the song as it was played live at the All-Star game. Curtis? All right. Stu, you got it? Come on, name that tune.
That would be the legendary Round Ball Rock.
Basketball, give me the ball, because I'm gonna dunk it. Great, man. Round Ball Rock. John Tesh, you're 1 for 1 on your only one. Nice job to Stu.
Yes.
Better than
All
my
right.
record.
Yeah, Curtis would not have known that. All right, song number 1. What do you got for me there, Curtis and Stu? All right, you're going to Rick roll me with the first one, huh? Wow. All right. That's song number 1. I'll take a guess after I get all 5 of them in there. I'm logging them in the mental parts of my brain. Hold on. Oh, I'm not Googling. Just opening my notes. That's song number 1. What do we got for number 2 here? Oh. Ooh. Good. Stu Kovacs. I may have that one. All right, what's song number 3? Wow. Yeah, that's and there's the dance with it too.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, wow. Oh, man, wow. Okay, song number 4.
And don't we try to love.
Oh.
Give it all we got.
I know that voice. This is most Mondays is just me grunting and murmuring until we get to the man. Okay, we got that one. All right, song number 5.
Only bad syllables. Look at all the bullshit that goes on in Gotham when I'm going. Time to get free.
All right. Okay, song number 1 again, please. Never gonna give you up, Rick Astley.
All right. Look at
yes,
you. 1 for 1.
Yes, dude. 1 for 1. I've been practicing, listening to the music of the world. Song number 2 is going to be a little bit tougher for myself and everyone else that exists here. Song number 2, please, Curtis. Is it Effervescence?
It is not.
Oh, Stu, what do we got here?
Every wrestling fan's yelling at you right now.
Yeah, Alter Bridge, Metalingus. That
Hold
was
on.
the Edge's song.
English, please? What?
Metalingus is the the artist, and Alter Bridge is the name of the song.
Wow, Metalingus. Okay, song number 3. It's The Weeknd. What's the name of the song?
It is Blinding Lights.
Blinding Lights. Gosh dang it. Okay, song number 4.
And don't we try to love. Give it all we got.
Taylor Swift. Is it Life of Ophelia?
Same album, the newest album, but it is not. It is Opalite.
Opalite. Okay. I think I don't even think it's the life of a showgirl. Okay. Oh, it's the last one.
Only bad syllables. Look at all the bull.
Eminem.
Yes.
What's the name of the song?
Business.
He's standing on it. That's Stu Kovacs. He produces the Drake Toll Show. Addie Bates back tomorrow. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Hey, this has been It Always Will Be. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Thanks to Colin Jones, to Bruce, to Armin, to the world, and to you. See you 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. tomorrow. This has been It Always Will Be, the Drake Toll Show.
This is West.